What's going on, guys? Back for another week, and the title is appropriate, believe it or not, because my wife was really loving this past week's rotation. Constant conversation about what I was wearing, how good I smelled, and it's literally, aside from a few fragrances out the shower that she didn't really say anything about, my daily wear, I didn't go a single day without her telling me more than once just how good I was smelling. So, guys, these are definitely some aromas that your lady might want to smell on you, just based off of my experience. And it's week number 162 in the rotation. So stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday and Monday, we have both fallen so heavily in love with this one. It's become my favorite in the line, which leather was, but now Stronger With You absolutely is, from Emporio Armani. This stuff, for anybody that's tried it, you know where I'm coming from with this. Anybody that hasn't, you should get your nose on it, because, I mean, it wasn't blind for me. My decant is right here. So good. Even though the toffee's not in the notes from Intensely, I still get that toffee sweetness. Nice dose. Nice dose of the rum without it being too boozy. It's not too sweet. The spices here don't overtake the fragrance, though they do kind of balance the sweetness off really, really well here. It's not in the background. And then you do get that dried chestnut smell from the original's DNA. It's a little woody. Of course, there's an ambery tone to it. It's from start to finish. The color of the juice is very fitting. This stuff is so damn good. Ended up rocking it 2 days in a row because it's been snowy, crispy, cold weather. Lows in the 9, 10, 11 degree range here for me at night. And then during the day, it's been in the high teens, low 20s up to low 30s. We've had snow just sitting on the ground, snow falling. So stuff like this cozy, delicious, delectable, amazing fragrance has been doing the trick. You should get your nose on it if you haven't yet. During the day, on Sunday and Monday, Stronger With You, absolutely. So out the shower on Sunday, I went with F Black. Not F Black, F, the original, F by Ferragamo. Picked this up in my recent rack store video, and I quite enjoy it. It is weak. I have to say, after about 4 hours, I don't notice it anymore. The opening's better than F Black, to me. The opening's better. This is more fruity. Has a nice apple note that really stands out. This is a 30 ml, by the way. But F Black, as a whole, better. Much better fragrance. So if you don't have F Black, and you don't need, 3 or 4 hours is okay with you, you just want a nice little gym bag fragrance or keeping your backpack, keeping your briefcase or something just to get you out of a pinch if you need to refresh a fragrance, this is okay for the money. But F Black is superior in every way. The opening's not as good. That's the only thing where it's not superior. But performance is better. The heart and dry down, it's better. The overall experiences with so far my limited experience with this, with F Black is better. So not something I recommend just rushing out to blind buy unless you just want to roll the dice and you find it for really cheap at the rack stores. It's okay. It's just not as good as its flanker F Black. So out the shower on Sunday, Ferragamo F by Ferragamo. And then I got the shower on Monday. Now this my wife really enjoys, and I've been digging the hell out of it too. Cristiano Ronaldo CR7 Play It Cool. You've been seeing this one a decent amount in these weekly rotation videos. So I've been wearing it here and there to the gym, but more so out the shower lately. It's kind of a more soapy Invictus. Think original Paco Rabanne Invictus, not Aqua. The sweet aquatic tone with some heightened lavender to give this soapy shower gel-like feel, plus the sweet aquatic tone. Kind of combine the two. It's very, very nice. It's not super strong, but it's also not as weak as this. It is a little bit stronger than F by Ferragamo. I'm kind of not super impressed by it, but I'm kind of impressed because I didn't think I would end up liking it that much. I didn't think I would reach for it as much as I do. So if you see this one out there for, decent price, sub $30 for a 50 ml like this, $20, $25, you could do a lot worse. Not the greatest fragrance in the world. Probably be redundant in most people's collections. It's definitely redundant in mine, but I've really been enjoying it lately. Out the shower on Monday, CR7, Play It Cool. Moving into Tuesday, the most powerful fragrance here in this video in the weekly rotation. This is daring. This makes a statement. This embarrasses the cold. Cutting through the cold is an understatement for this one because it's so dark smoky from birch tar and incense, heavily spiced, rough and tumble, yet still finding an elegance with leather and suede, a robust robust, earthy tobacco, a light, juicy plum. I mean, some of you know where I'm going with this, was Zaharoff Signature Leather Tabac. Available for special pre-order pricing right now, full on, flat out, released to the public here in the States on February 1st. Samples will be available come February 1st as well. I believe he's doing travel size. I never do more than 3 sprays because the sillage is immense. This is a room filler. I compare this performance on my skin, on Justin's skin, on George's skin. Everybody I've smelled this on Joe Roman's skin. Shout out to Joe Roman. Mancera Red Tobacco Nuclear. It is. It's outrageous. A little medicinal in the top. That's why I say it's daring, but boy, it will grab you. This is a very punchy fragrance. For those of you that saw my review, it's very punchy in the top. It's a little medicinal, but that kind of fades. It's kind of the way the juiciness of this plum comes across with all this dense spice. There's oud in the backdrop. There's honey. All that stuff's way back in the deep dry down. It's not the same tobacco fragrance as Signature Tabac. So this is reworked. It is still a Signature pour-on base with tobacco. It's just a different tobacco oil. Again, this is more robust, earthy, and moist overall. It's a different tobacco oil. Deep, rich. The color of this juice is very fitting. It's smoky, rich, dark. Like I said, very daring fragrance. You don't need a lot of sprays. Absolutely something you should try. This one, like, damn near blows the eyebrows off of my wife with its power when she hugs me. Loves the way it smells. She told me I need to just do 1 spray, though. This is a less is more fragrance. Loves the scent profile. Very sexy and masculine, according to her, but too strong, overwhelmingly powerful for my wife. So keep that in mind. Be mindful. You heavy sprayers, don't just spray 15 sprays the first time you get it. Try it for a few minutes before you just go nuts spraying it all over yourself and drenching your clothes that are never not going to smell like leather tobacco again. So during the day, Zaharoff Signature Leather Tabac. And then when I got out the shower, I wanted to go something fresh after something just so heavy and dark. I went with Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Together, kind of that Invictus Aqua YSLY type of feel to it, a little bit of the original First Instinct, that melon vibe. This is more saltwater aquatic type of thing. A lot of synthetic grapefruit. It's chemically synthetic. It's not some expensive smelling fragrance. It is a cheap smelling fragrance. But it smells great out in the air. This stuff, wife's a big fan of this one, as am I. This is a compliment machine, guys, believe it or not. For as cheap as it is, because you can still find these at the rack stores. They pop up $30 for 100 ml, around $20 for 50 mls like this. This works great in the summertime. If you're in a warmer climate, you can wear it year-round. You can keep it in your gym bag. Just go easy on the sprays. Even though it's not real long-lasting, it is very loud at first. This has the ability to push out there and grab some people's attention. This one will surprise you. Very metallic because it's heavily synthetic nature. It adds a little bit of a metallic tone. Like I said, it's kind of a blend of a few different fresh fragrances, but overall, one of my favorite cheapies ever. I have multiple bottles of this. I'll never run out. But out the shower, Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Together. Moving into Wednesday, a personal favorite in my collection that I haven't worn in quite some time. Picture a light Versace Eros type sweetness with some warm coffee and a nice soft leather base. We're talking about Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo Signature. This stuff's great. I still like this one the most of the line. I've never tried the special blend of this, but I do really like Uomo. I know people that like gourmands like the original DNA for this, that tiramisu, very gourmand dessert cake-like and cake and coffee type of fragrance. Well, I prefer this one. Urban feel, different take, ambroxan, amber, bergamot type of scent. And then Casual Life is more violet leaf musk in coffee. That's actually quite unique. Whereas this, it'll remind you some other things, kind of like an enhanced take on Eros, like I was saying. Not exactly. Whew. Man, this is good. God, it's good. And sillage is great on this one. The wife was loving this one. We went to dinner, and I wore this the other day. Well, it was late lunch, kind of in between lunch and dinner. It was like 3 o'clock. She was digging this one. And I dig this one too. Like I said, I really, really can appreciate this one. It can still be found pretty easily. Performance is above average without being a monster. It's the sillage for me. Out in the air, it grabs people. In the past, I've had customers back when I used to work at Mercedes, that the few times I wore this to work, complimented me. It's like, it's so attractive. to ladies. I'm telling you, my wife loves this one. It's been such a long time since I wore it. She was not necessarily going gaga over it, but she was really enjoying sniffing on me. Paid me more than one compliment. I want to say it was three total throughout because we were out and about. We went to have a late lunch, early dinner kind of thing, and we had some errands to run, grocery shopping and stuff like that on top of that. And she just kept telling me, "God, you really do smell good today." It's good stuff. If you have it in your collection, dust it off, pull it off, and give it some sprays. If you haven't gotten it yet, find a way to get your nose on it because it is that good during the day. Uomo Signature from Ferragamo. And then when I got out the shower, we switched it up. We went fresher overall. This is a clone of Mancera Cedrat Boisé. This is more on the sharp citrus, less on the sweet fruits, and more on the clean musk, less on the leather. Cedrat Essence and the Emir line from Paris Corner. I did a full review on this one, very recent. It's within the last week to 2 weeks. This is good stuff. I was just in the mood for it. It's a little stronger than I would typically like out the shower, but it just smells so good. It smells like Cedrat Boisé, a slightly cheaper version of Cedrat Boisé, and that's what it is. Because you can get it for around $30. I'll try to have links for everything down in the description. I got this from perfumeonline.ca for $30. I think it was like $29.50 US. So solid performer, not a beast. Above average performer overall in longevity. Not a really loud fragrance. After about an hour and a half, it calms down. But it smells really good. If your lady's into fresh, or let's say you used to have Cedrat Boisé, you had a decan of Cedrat Boisé, and your lady's a fan of that, she's definitely going to like this. Out in the air, not really much of a difference. So whatever your experience is with Cedrat Boisé with other people will probably be the same with this one. That has been my experience so far. I can't guarantee anything, but out the shower, I was loving it. Emir Cedrat Essence from Paris Corner. Moving into Thursday. Boy, I'm such a leather fan, and this is so, so good. Any ombre leather fans that are watching this, and you want an affordable alternative that's good quality and performs great, you want to check out Rare Carbon from Afnan. I love this stuff more every single time I wear it. It is so, so good. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It falls in between the original ombre leather in the Signature line and the Parfum flanker because this has a lot more of the sweet leather, that heavy leather smell, a lot of it, that brightness, that fresh leather smell that you get from ombre leather mixed with the florals and the violet leaf that you get from ombre leather Parfum. It falls in between the two, and it's really good. I love wearing this one. Again, wife, big fan of this. We've learned she likes leather fragrances more than we realized. She really likes leather-heavy fragrances because I typically only wear them during this time of year, and this is when she likes to sniff on me the most. She likes the heavier stuff as long as I don't spray what would be too heavy for her. Again, I sprayed 4 or 5 sprays. She told me I need to ease up, that it was really, really strong when she had hugged me. She's like, "Well, I love that one, but you sprayed too much." Because she recognized it immediately. Because I've spent a decent amount of time here in recent weeks with this one because I really enjoyed it. I did a full review not that long ago, not super recent though, within the last month, maybe in some change. Again, $30 to $40 range, really hard to beat for the quality, the scent profile, just the enjoyment of the scent profile and the wearing experience overall, and the performance. You get great performance. Afnan continues to be my favorite from the Middle Eastern houses, the affordable Middle Eastern houses, with Lattafa kind of taking a really, really close second, and then Rasasi and Armani kind of fall somewhere in that 3rd to 4th place range. But get your nose on this one if you haven't yet. If you like ombre leather and you want to save some money, the quality is really good on this. During the day, Rare Carbon from Afnan. Then when I got out the shower, this is one I haven't worn in a while. The top's a little sour and spoiled. I've had this bottle for many, many years. Many years during Ed Hardy's heyday, because this is one of the old, decent performing renditions before they sold to a different distributor. For Ed Hardy, Love and Luck. So this is my original bottle too. You know, that juice, you got to get through the opening because the citruses are spoiled, but once you can get into the heart, it takes a few minutes. The opening lasts for a few minutes here. It's still herbaceous, beautiful, a little like it's got this brightness, almost like this gin booziness to it. See, it's really not that bad out the atomizer. When I sprayed on skin, it was a little on the sour side for the citrus. So that's not too bad. It's not some rancid thing you have to sit through. It's not really bad or anything. It's easily tolerable for a few minutes. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. A lot of great memories of the early stages of my relationship with my wife with this one. She's still a huge fan of this one. Her and I both used to wear the Ed Hardy fragrances a lot. I have a few from Ed Hardy. She has a few from Ed Hardy. We both have the men's and the women's Christian Audige, which was the parent house for the Ed Hardy fragrances, seen by Christian Audige. So a lot of nostalgic memories from over a decade ago with this fragrance. Big, big fan. I do have a sealed 30 ml of the newer versions that I've never opened. Saw it at a Marshall's, scooped it up for $10. Said, why not? I may use it one day. Have it just in case. But even with the top being a little soured, it's still super enjoyable. My wife's always been a big fan of this one, as have I. I have smelled newer versions, still really good, and you can still get them pretty cheap. Out the shower, Ed Hardy Love and Luck. Moving into Friday, boy, was this a good day. One of the better designer gourmands out there. Again, wife's a huge fan of this one. As am I. Only did 3 sprays because it's actually really, really strong on my skin, and I don't like to spray my clothes with stuff that's really strong. We're talking about Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. I just did a shorts video featuring this at the time, and I was like, you know what? That's going to be my scent of the day. I'm going to roll with that hazelnut, plum, honey, just to name a few notes. Really stands out. Gourmand facets, really thick, sweet, strong sillage, strong projector early on, pretty long lasting, 9-10 hours on my skin. This stuff is great. Massive compliment getter in my experience. A lot of other people have said that on the internet because it's true. Look, not everybody, I have to always say this after. I hate that I always have to say this because not everybody understands every situation is different, and not every fragrance, every time you wear it, is going to get a compliment. Some people go their whole life without anybody telling them they smell good. Sorry to hear that. That sucks, but had many occasions, especially from my wife, where I've been told how good this smells. My mom and my wife specifically. Big fans of when I wear this, which I don't wear it that often anymore. The wife was really vibing with it this week, I got to tell you, as was I. I really like this scent profile. This and Privé are still my 2 favorites in the line. I do like Elixir. I do like the Parfum. I have respect for the original. I'm one of the few that likes the Cologne flanker. And I'm pretty excited about the Royal flanker that's recently been announced that's coming out. But for me, this one's really hard to beat. If you like sweet designer level fragrances, a little synthetic, chemically synthetic, this is one of the best ever made in my opinion, especially if you care about people telling you smell nice. You might want to get your hands on this one because it's good for that. During the day, Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. Then I got the shower. Sticking with the ombre leather style scent profile. One of the best cheap hidden gems out there. Sherman Signature. $10 for 30 ml. Bright, fresh leather at the top. Dry and woody as it settles. Good stuff. Pretty good performer too. If you like leather, it doesn't smell like a $10 fragrance, I have to say. Again, it doesn't smell like a $150, $200 fragrance. But it doesn't smell like a $10 fragrance either. You could do so much worse on a fragrance in this price bracket. A lot worse. This is probably the best $10 I've ever spent on a fragrance. It's crazy to me. It really, I could see paying $20 for this and not having issue because it's that good. It really is that good. It's not going to be for everyone. I understand that. But if you like leather, you want more of a fresher take in some ways to the Tuscan leather, ombre leather scent profile, because it does have a little bit of that sweet leather smell, more so of Tuscan leather than ombre leather. Then it starts to settle more into ombre, which I'm saying this for those that are familiar with the 2 fragrances, I understand. But picture a very bright and aromatic vibe with the light sweetness, almost a fruity sweet tone to it, with this kind of edgy leather that dries down into a soft, dry, woody tone with that same leather. It kind of takes the edge off as it dries. That's what you can expect from this. Typically not something I like to reach for out the shower, but I was just in the mood for it because I love sniffing on this stuff. Out the shower, Sherman Signature. Finally, on Saturday, my birthday. Today, right now, I'm still wearing my birthday scent of the day, which is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Big fan of this one. Haven't wore it in quite some time. I felt like it was due. I know a lot of people were expecting me to wear Aqua Essenziale Blue, maybe wear Business Over Pleasure, Evening Mystique. That's too easy. It's expected. It's my favorite blue fragrance ever because I'm known as the blue fragrance guy. And my 2 creations was Zaharoff, which, of course, I love them. I try not to just oversaturate wearing them nonstop all the time. So no Evening Mystique or Business Over Pleasure in this week's rotation. But next week, I'm probably going to wear them again. But with this, very elegant, but still boozy, has a nice playful tone, more of a laid back type of vibe than it is serious overall. Definitely grown and sexy type of scent. I agree with some of the feedback I've gotten from my scent of the day on this. Definitely grown man, sexy type of fragrance without smelling like an old man. You know what I mean? It's not super youthful and playful. It's woody. It's herbaceous. It's got this benzoin feel to it. A little bit of an amber tone with this sandalwood that's not overly creamy. It's nice and woody with a light creamy tone that never becomes too much. This green herbaceous spice. It's a good performer, really good performer, and the sillage is the magic. It's not too loud. It can grab early on, but the sillage is consistent as it settles down because it's a little slightly higher oil concentration. I don't know the exact. I'm sure it's not a completely pure Parfum, but it definitely acts like it is. So there's a chance that it's 25% or better. I'm not sure of the oil concentration exactly. Traditionally, Parfums are 25% or better. And this, man, it's such a good fragrance. Justin sold me on this one a long time ago. I did a review a few years ago on it. I don't wear it enough. So I felt special day. Let's wear something that I deem pretty special that I haven't been wearing lately. And that's why we ended up going this route. During the day, Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Then we got out the shower. Well, when I get out the shower, after I'm done recording this, because I'm going to shower before I edit this video, I don't know what made me in the mood for this. One of my favorite cheapies ever, $20. One of the best $20 fragrances you can get from a rack store. Guess 1981 Los Angeles. This, in some ways, is superior to Eros. In some ways. Because it doesn't have that minty brightness. It's a dry, peppery tone in the top, and it's much more of an ambery, synthetic ambery feel as it dries. But you will relate it to Eros. It's actually more of an evening-appropriate type of Eros smell. Performance is above average for me. Average to above average, I would say in that 6 to 7 hour range. Sometimes I get lucky and get 8. Sometimes on the weaker side in 5 to 6 hours, which is still average. Really, really nice stuff. This is great for younger fellas as well that are looking for a great scent to wear on a date, going out to meet friends somewhere, whatever. This has a little bit more of that evening vibe to it while still having a youthfulness to it, a slight playful edge. There's nothing really serious here. This one can pull a compliment. This one's very attractive. That's what I say, you younger guys, this is more that scent profile that'll attract the younger ladies for the most part. That's why I say you young fellas should probably take a look at this one. This is one of my main recommendations for guys in their 18 to 25 age range, especially 18 to 21, 22 range, real young fellas that are going out and doing their thing and having fun. This is probably something that on a deep budget, which you're not going to want to spend too much on a fragrance because you're spending your money on other things at that age. I get it, been there, done that, had a great time. And I was rocking fragrances that were in the price bracket, that were bang for your buck, and stuff like Guess 1981 Los Angeles really is. Out the shower, that's what I went with. Well, that was this week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Would you guys rock this week? Did we match anywhere? Have you tried any of the stuff I wore this week? Does your lady have similar reactions to some of these as mine does? Because it was above average this week when it comes to my wife telling me how good I smelled. It was pretty consistent, so I felt like, you know what, let's title it correctly, because we're on topic, guys. This has been my experience with my lady, and yeah, I'm probably going to wear this again this week at some point. I love this stuff. Get your nose on this if you haven't yet. I'm telling you. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these, especially strong with you, absolutely, and you give it a spray now, probably end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.